Okay, you said, does the Karate Kid count?
Because it's a sport. He's literally involved in sports. Karate is a sport. What can you say about Mr. Miyagi, what he taught, his lesson now?
Yeah, the Karate Kid should count,
You
man.
could-
You could put that
It
up
should
there
count,
somewhere.
bro.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Welcome back. You know, this is episode 11, Beat the Best podcast. So happy to be here. It was a hard day to be here after my Niners took a monumental and historic loss yesterday, but I'm still here. For everybody who cares, we also got Sean back, and we welcome Stephaune Wallace to the podcast. What's up, Steph?
Hey, glad to be here. Excited.
You may recognize Stephaune Wallace. He's been all up and down your television for the last decade, and he decided to meet us here to talk a little bit about our topic of the day, which is going to be best sports movies ever.
So excited.
As I was watching the games yesterday, which is, hard with a toddler climbing on your shoulders, some of the endings felt cinematic, especially whether that was a catch or whether that was an interception for that Broncos-Buffalo game. So it just got me thinking, cinematic moments, what are the best sports movies of all time, the Mount Rushmore? People have gotten away from top 5, and now we're into Mount Rushmore categories, which is top 4, which makes it really difficult. And I got to be honest, friends, when I dove down this and did my own research, I thought this was going to be easy. Oh, this will be a layup episode. I was wrong. Sean, did you find this harder than you thought it would be?
Absolutely, because as I'm listing like my top 4 at the time, then I'm remembering all these different movies that I watched, and I go, oh, I got to put that on the list. Oh, I got to put that on. So I'm writing, and I'm actually looking at my list now, and I go, wow, it's roughly about 10 movies that I could think of.
Yeah.
But there's so many more, and I'm sure you guys will mention some movies that I've forgotten about that were great. So it's definitely more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Beth, did you think this was a layup drill?
Yeah. Not a layup drill, but I was excited about it.
Yeah. So one qualifier I have to say is you have to have seen the movie with your own eyes. Okay. So we're going to eliminate movies that you hadn't seen, that you just heard of, like a Chariots of Fire. Great film, won an Oscar. Didn't really watch it, so you have to have seen it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be critically acclaimed. It's your Mount Rushmore of what movies had the most impact on you, which I think is a great way to look at a film. So let's dive into this. We're going to start with the low-hanging fruit. Do any of you not have Rocky in your top 4? Let's start there. Sean, go ahead.
No. It's in my top 4.
Okay. Steph, is Rocky in your top 4?
So, yeah, it's impossible not to have it, but this is my, I guess, caveat to what Rocky I chose.
I was going to say the same thing, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? It's Rocky, of course, absolutely. Mount Rushmore, no question. But there are 5. Now we get personal. I break it down. I get all granular with it. I go Rocky 1, 1976. I'm just being born. I wasn't on it like that. I later understood the greatness. Rocky 2, still I'm a baby. I later understood the greatness.
So let me
hold on.
Okay. Let me frame this thing. This is goddamn. This is a start. So you're saying Rocky's on the list, but you're going with Rocky 3 is your point 1. So go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead and cut in on Rocky 3.
Yeah, everything about it, the villain, the role, the way Mr. T played that vilified role, but also was kind of a hero. It was like a weird juxtaposition. You wanted to be him, but you also hated him. It was one of the most fantastic. He seemed like he was undefeatable. It's one of those mountains, but Rocky does that to you. And just, again, that overcoming story that he does, I don't know how he magnificently puts that together time and time again.
Don't forget that montage. The montage in that movie. My God.
Oh gosh.
Sean, I know you.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on now, Sean. I know you're chomping at the bit about this Rocky topic. I can see it in your face.
Well, I mean, I mean, Stefan, he took it. I was thinking the exact. I promise you, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, Rocky is definitely in there, but specifically for me was a Rocky 3, and like I said, it was just, the fall from grace. Rocky's on top. He went through everything in 1 and 2, and now he's on top. He's got the money. He's got
You're
everything,
giving me chills right
and
now.
and then he's going into to this fight and Mick gets hurt and has a heart attack, and you know what I mean,
Yes,
and then he gets
yes.
beat. So now it's the fall from grace, and now you gotta build yourself back up. You're not confident, none of these things. You know what I mean. So he's got to take it back to the roots, and then enter Apollo Creed, which he was great. Bringing him in like we gonna
Yeah.
take it back. This is how I train, and then the one-liners. Come on, Mr. T was the man. You should have never came back.
Hey,
So
woman.
I can quote all day. So
Yeah.
that was the one for me, man. Because Mr. T was my guy, man. I
My
remember Mr.
guy.
T from DC Cab, like he was my guy.
Yes, yes. Sean, hey, Sean,
Yo,
man,
yo.
So
dude. And don't let it be understated. Carl Weathers is just he was a
oh
legend
yes,
at the
yes,
time, right? So to have them both on screen, man,
Yo,
yeah, it was, man. So that was the one for me. So me and Stefan agree. I like this guy.
yo, I don't know,
yes,
I
same.
don't know if I can say anything to top what you guys have said, except that you guys are forgetting one major factor that made that movie indelible in all our brains is two things. One, it's Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the
Oh yeah,
Tiger was in
Yeah,
Rocky 3, which you put that on when you're in the gym.
yes,
Still
yes,
today, you go
yes,
harder. It
yes,
just makes you
yes.
want to go hard in the paint. And the scene where Apollo's beating him, he's hooking, he's hooking, he's hooking. What's
oh
wrong
yeah,
with you, Rock?
Yes,
And
yes,
then Rocky says,
yes,
maybe we'll pick it up tomorrow. And Carl Weathers says,
yes.
there is
there
no
is no tomorrow.
tomorrow.
What,
Chills,
bro?
chills.
Still,
Still.
to this day,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I mean, though. You have to surmise it, and to which one is on the Rushmore.
Okay, so
And again, me and Sean both say
you're in your point spot. You guys are both Rocky 3.
yeah.
Okay,
yes,
find it very difficult to argue against you. I will only say this: in my point spots, the first Rocky, because it was so groundbreaking, because it won an Oscar, because this is the first time we've seen the hero lose in his own film, right? And you watch Rocky again, there's no way you don't cry when he wakes up in bed and Adrian's like, "What's wrong?" And Rocky says, "I can't beat him." But he says, "But I can make him go to distance." And he gets in that ring, and Apollo's just beating this dude's brains out like ground beef. And Rocky's like, "I'm still here." There's a reason why that story still goes hard. So I can't say either of you are wrong because Rocky 3 is in my heart, but you don't get to Rocky 3 without the first Rocky.
Facts.
facts,
Okay.
facts. And can I say
Of
something real
course,
quick? A
go in.
little known. I don't know if anybody knows about Rocky in general, but that fight is loosely based on the real fighter. They called him the, I don't remember his name, the Bayonne Bleeder. He actually fought Muhammad Ali, and so that story, Rocky's character is like loosely based off of that guy, the Bayonne Bleeder. And so I
I
found that
love
out
it.
just recently, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I think he took Muhammad Ali the distance, 15 rounds. I think, I'm not sure. Somebody, in the comments, please let me
Sure,
know
they'll
if I'm
let you
wrong.
know.
But yeah, they'll let me know. But I remember I watched that and I was like, wow. I actually watched the movie and I was like, man, I did not know that. So that's what made it really hit home the Rocky for me. So I knew he was going to be in my Mount Rushmore. So
All right. I didn't expect us to get caught on Rocky on the first film, but so Sean and Steph have Rocky 3. I have Rocky. So we can say Rocky's in our first spot. Steph, I'm going to go ahead and let you lead into your sophomore spot. What do you got?
Again, I went very, very personal and close to my heart. There is something to be said about the film White Men Can't Jump. I moved to California, and the first place I wanted to go was the outdoor courts on Venice Beach just to see it with my own eyes. This movie had such an impact on on me as a person, and I'll never shake it. I'll watch it every time it's on. Wesley and Woody are all time greats to me. One of the best combos I think ever put together. And
Really?
yeah, I don't want to take up all the time. I just want to say I have White Men Can't Jump right at the top of my list.
I gotta be honest
That's a
with you,
good
I
one.
totally forgot about White Men Can't Jump.
See,
Oh
that's what I
man.
said. You're gonna
Sean,
forget.
go ahead. What's in your two
Everything
slot?
about it.
So is this the one
Your
slot
two
or
this is
the
your two
two
slot.
slot
We
or
both
just
Rocky one,
oh my two slot?
Rocky three for our first slot.
This was a tough one because both of these movies really resonated, but this movie is really this is like kin to my story. You know my story, Saeed, and it's Rudy. It's
Mm,
Rudy.
Right.
I mean, to watch that, and I actually, you could say I'm the real life Rudy. I walked on to UNLV, made the team,
oh,
played, and I had my one game. I actually have it on film, so if I can, I might put it in the chat. But I just the bucket that I scored, I got in the last 30 seconds or so, and I scored. And then I think this movie came out in '93, and watching him run out on the field at the end,
Else.
and then what is he sacked the
Yeah.
quarterback? I was like, it gave me chills. I'm like, that was me. Like I did that. I scored a
yeah,
bucket.
yeah.
I think we played Cal Berkeley. I put us over 100, and so that movie really resonates. I was like, wow, that was me. The walk on story of the kid that loves the game, just wants to play. So Rudy is in my number two spot, man. It was hard though, because wait till I tell you my number three. It was hard,
Well,
but it was incredible.
Rudy's a great
I
choice.
have to say, Stipe,
Go
as
ahead.
you said, bro,
Yeah.
I forgot about Rudy. Go ahead. I forgot about
That's a
Rudy.
hard. That movie's again going to give you chills every time you watch. Fantastic story. Sean happened to play for one of the best, arguably one of the best college basketball teams to ever walk the earth, and got a chip out of it. So of course that's going to influence you. Friends, this two spot was really tough for me, and I ended up even during this conversation moving it up the list for me. And I don't want you guys to hang me out to dry for this.
It's your list. We'll never do that.
Above the rim.
Ooh, I
It,
forgot
it's
about
it's
that.
it's in my honorable mentions, sir. It's in my honorable
Joe.
mentions.
Above the rim.
ATR, as
Oh,
known to the lovers of this film, had my favorite rapper, had one of my favorite actors, had a guy I ended up meeting later in LA. I can't remember the brother's name. You know his name. Steph, you've met him before. It was married to Tisha Campbell, I believe, for
Dwayne Martin.
Dwayne Martin. I
Dwayne
met
Martin.
that brother later when I was in LA. That movie molded me, cousin. Just as much as a juice molded me as a kid. Above the rim, man. And when Shep comes back to the game, and Tupac is like, "What is he doing here?" And Shep just
Straight
starts
buckets.
killing
Just killing.
everybody.
He's killing.
Yo,
Straight buckets.
straight.
Let me just add the little piece that you're missing. Above the Rim had one of the hardest soundtracks
Oh yeah.
of that era. Everything you did in that era was to that soundtrack. Bow, 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 dude, what?
Soundtrack.
They did get out.
That
Shots.
song with Dog Pound was for
Oh,
me. That whole
was
summer,
that
that
what
song,
would you
the dog,
do?
that
Was
song.
what
Yes.
would you do on?
uh,
What would you do? Was that on
What
there?
would you?
I'm trying to think.
I'm not sure, but this song was
Bow, bow,
it
bow,
was
bow.
just it was
I'm gonna look
indicative
it
of
up.
the park setting. You roll up to the park, windows down. I was at the park one
Yes.
day.
He
Yes.
looked kind of
Dude,
gabby
that
to
was
me.
Yes, sir.
and the crazy thing is, I don't think you guys are from the West Coast either, but that was like a predominantly West
No, Sean's
Coast
a West Coast kid. He's an
soundtrack.
LA kid.
No, I grew up in Los Angeles, so yeah, that
Okay,
was
okay,
big.
okay.
Yeah.
So you got it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was in Miami and I was like, yo, this is one of the hardest soundtracks. We played the whole thing in the whip, going to the park to host
Yes.
every
Man.
day.
Yes, absolutely. So while Above the Rim may not have been critically acclaimed, it won 0 Oscars and did nothing really impressive in theaters. For me, I had the CD. I watched that movie at least 10 times, and that had a major input on me, especially as a hooper and as an athlete. So that's in my two spot. I know I'm probably going to hear it from the comments, but guess what? ATR went hard in the paint for me.
No, that was a good. It's your list. That was a good one. I totally, as we said, the theme of this, I totally forgot about that.
So in the two spots, Steph, you have
White Man Can't
White Man
Jump.
Can't Jump, and Sean has Rudy. No one's going to argue against that, Sean. That was critically acclaimed. And I have Above the Rim. Sean, we're going to let you lead off for your spot 3.
Ah, this was so tough, man. I'm looking at my list now and I'm flipping as we speak.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
Oh my God. But see this one, and this was another, I think this was critically acclaimed as well, this movie, but it was one scene that did it for me, and people probably they may drag me. Who cares? It was Hoosiers.
It's going to be mad at
Like,
Hoosiers, bro.
well, you just never know, man. People are crazy, but it's just, and it's one scene in particular, championship game, and Gene Hackman's running the play, and Jimmy's their main shooter.
Telling me like I don't
And,
know.
but
Go
they're
ahead.
gonna
I'm
run a
going
decoy.
to let you cook.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, I got to
Walk
paint
us
the
through it.
picture.
Walk
I got
us
to paint
through
the
it.
picture. So he's running the play. We're gonna do a decoy, and he says, "All right," and everybody sits back like this, and they're looking, and he goes, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" And the part that gave me chills, Jimmy looks at him. I'll make it. What? He was like, all right, change the play. And then you fast forward, slow motion, the whole cinematic thing. Oh, and he makes the shot, and it's like, come
Yeah.
on, man. That's
Yeah.
that's basketball. That's what, the guys who want the
Yes.
ball in their hands,
Yeah.
that's what you
Bro, and
So that resonated with me as a basketball
to your
player. 'Cause
point-
every player worth their weight in salt wants that.
That scene, the Warriors and the Indiana Pacers used to run that play for Steph Curry and for Reggie Miller. Just so you know, they ran that barn door play. It still works. My God, that's a great pick. No one's going to argue against
God,
Hoosiers,
that's
Sean.
crazy.
That's fantastic pick. Steph, you want to add to that Hoosiers, or you want to go with your pick 3?
Man, all I would add to Hoosiers is I love it, and I can't argue against it. Loved Hoosiers. I got chills listening to you give the recap.
That's what I was thinking about it, though.
My 3 was a fight, man, between two films. One is
Tell me the other one.
critically
Just
acclaimed.
give me the one, because we're going to go with your 4 and the unmentioned. Go ahead. Give me the one.
Again, I'm gonna stick with my theme, which is this. This is my picks.
Yeah.
These are my picks.
Right.
Any given Sunday, I literally watched 2-3 times a week when it came out. When I could watch it at home, I had the DVD. I throw that in. I could quote the movie up backwards and forward.
This is hilarious.
There's so many significant points of that movie. I love the insight that I felt like was the most realistic we got into professional sports off the field and on the field. And dude, again, the acting, top tier. Jamie Foxx, you got Al Pacino, LL,
Bill Bellamy.
Bill was killing.
Yeah.
It goes on and on. That film for me was super duper impactful. So we fight for those inches.
So, first of all, I hate your guts. This is why we're friends, because that is also in my 3rd spot is any given Sunday, which it was hard because I almost took it from my sophomore spot and it had to come down one because ATR was so important to me. Any given Sunday. Stuff, I'm just speaking for you here. The scene where Jamie Foxx goes over Al Pacino's house and they're having that real conversation. They got me out there tackling cornerbacks, out there tackling. I ain't built for that shit.
Yes. It's fantastic. Bro, and just to jump in, Oliver Stone smokes it. He's got like this backdrop happening while they're having that
The
conversation.
gladiators.
Taking us back to the past, the gladiators.
Yeah.
So we get in the past, the history, what this is all about. Oh God.
Yeah, that's a
What a shot.
This is a great point. This is a
Masterpiece.
great point because we're getting into top tier directing, right? This is Oliver Stone, and I believe the scene you're talking about is even like
Yeah.
lightning strikes in the background and stuff. He's really hitting you with it, and then the writing where Jamie Foxx's character is talking about being indispensable, which is something that a lot of sports movies kind of shy away from. It's like, oh, so what? I'm supposed to, when I'm done, I'm gonna wait until mine. I'm gonna get mine. You know what I mean? And I'm going to go where I need to go. And I just love that they had the wherewithal to actually talk about that in a film. Even when, what's his name's character? I think his name was Cap. And then when his wife was like, he was trying to retire. And his wife
Right.
Slapped him.
Well, What was the character? Was it Dennis Quaid?
Dennis,
Or was
thank you,
it
Dennis
Sean. It was
Quaid?
Dennis
Yeah,
Quaid. It was Dennis
yeah.
Yes.
Quaid.
Yes.
He's like, the kids are grown. We have enough money. She's like, she slaps him. It's like, yo, you're a football player.
Right.
That's crazy.
AKA Philip Rivers trotting out.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Getting slapped at home. We didn't know about it, but
How many of these players feel like
You
they
better go fit.
they can't retire? And so there were so many themes
Yeah.
aside from, Willie Beeman and, Metrex, with all that cool stuff. There was just a lot of great themes in that film. And I think Oliver Stone really, really put his foot in it for that movie.
Yeah, and
That's
the
great.
insights. Again, the Lawrence Taylor's in it. He's he's doing everything he can just to get that incentive deal. You got Dennis Quaid. He's dealing with decades of injuries.
Yeah.
Like he's putting it together, piecing himself together with duct tape every time he goes on the field.
the QB1.
These are the real, right. And his position's being threatened by the young kid.
Yes.
That's the new generation.
Yeah.
That's all of those themes are what's going on a regular basis in professional sports.
It felt like there was
But they let us in. It was behind the curtain.
a heavy amount of realism with entertainment in that movie,
Yeah.
which made it great. Okay, guys, as we keep going, because we're just yapping here. In our fourth spot, which for me was very difficult because it's the last spot. What do you got for your fourth spot, for your Mount Rushmore of film that are sports related?
I will take you to what I fought the third spot with, and that's Remember the Titans. There's just no way that you build a Rushmore. We're talking race relations. We're talking historical moments. Just the transparency of that film, having an A1 lead actor in Denzel Washington. Everything about that was so impactful. It was more than impressionable. It was like almost life-changing. It was transcendent for your way of thinking,
So talking
Yeah,
about
so-
an all-star cast where if you go in that movie and look at the top 20 build, every one of those people went on to do something great.
It's so crazy. Yeah, that's why I like this guy, because I had that at first, and I did have Remember the Titans, but I've been flipping between that one and this movie, and it was so hard, and so I'm not mad at the choice. Trust me, it was in my Mount Rushmore. But for me, just to see the other side, and it's totally different now, but the way it was back then is He Got Game. He Got Game. Jesus Shuttlesworth. You know what I mean? It just and the story of
Denzel
dads
movies.
in prison. Oh, Denzel movies, yeah. Dad's in prison for accidentally killing mom, and now he's like, if you could get him to go here, we'll lessen your sentence. Everybody's recruiting him, and he's trying to make a decision, and he's got all the distractions.
Yeah,
and, he just wants to play ball and take care of his family, and oh man, it was incredible. I love that, just to see that side of it. The recruiting, we definitely love the scenes with Rick Fox.
Yeah.
College parties, like,
Yeah.
we've been there, we understand that. So it was, man, it just did everything for me. I was like, man, that's what they really go through. I wasn't a recruited athlete like that, but I saw, to see that side of it. I know guys who were, just to go, man, everything they have to deal with, and then him ultimately making that decision. Man,
It's a blue chip athlete.
incredible movie.
Blue chip athletes
Yeah.
get treated differently. I don't think any of us were that. My fourth slot, oh my God. I waxed and waned between choices here, but I landed on the emotional choice. So don't hate me for it. I went with Field of Dreams.
Okay.
I went with Field of Dreams.
Hey, listen, I'll be honest, I've never seen the movie all the way through. Kill me, but I've never seen it all the way
Just
through.
respectfully, you'll need a box of tissue at the end.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Okay. If you
Man.
build it, they will come.
Come.
Yes.
Yes.
James Earl Jones, Kevin Costner, Ray Liotta.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That movie, every
Bro.
time it's on, you can't stop watching. Foreclosing his house for that cornfield. I don't even feel like that movie was written for my demographic, but it was absolutely for anyone who loves sports that much. And so as much as I wanted to put Titans up, which is, I love that film, it didn't have the same emotional weight as Field of Dreams for me. Steph, you wanted to say
Yeah.
something? Go ahead.
I totally agree with both of you. Actually, I had I had Field of Dreams up there. It's fighting, it's vying for my fourth, maybe fifth spot because again, a huge impression on me growing up. Watched it a ton of times over and over again.
Yeah, yeah.
Super emotional. It is an emotional pick. But yeah, you're my guy. I can't believe that what you threw in, Sean. What you threw in, I also wanted to have that in my top four. I just it's hard, man. This is
Yeah,
how difficult this you really have to go with selfishly what spoke to you the most.
Yes.
So
Because if you
Field of
get
Dreams, yes.
if you get stuck with critical acclaim, you'll flounder because there's just too much out there. So you have to go with what affects you. Right. Before we go, because we are running out of time, let's go down the line for our honorable mention films. We'll start with you, Sean. Your honorable mention, which would have been your fifth spot, but it's honorable mention. You can't put it on the mountain, but it definitely should be considered.
For me, and like I said, probably not a lot of people who know basketball have seen this film or heard of this film. The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Monster.
I didn't watch that. I haven't
didn't wa-
seen that.
Oh
Steph,
my
this
God!
is-
I
Starring
haven't
Dr.
seen
J.
This is so 1970s pick he's going with.
Oh,
If you ever watch this movie, you're going to be like, Sean's a madman, because that's a classic.
I am.
Okay.
Oh,
I hadn't seen it.
absolutely-
Okay, Steph.
Oh, you got to see
Oh.
it.
We don't have time to elaborate on the fish that saved Pittsburgh outside of the fact that it was Dr. J. Steph, go ahead with your honorable mention spot.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights, that's up there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's up
That's
there.
a great pick. Yeah.
That's in my honorable mention spot.
Yeah, great film. For my honorable mention spot, I had the documentary Hoop Dreams. The way they made it, having it take 10 years to make that film
Yeah.
and then following those kids, watching that as a young man actually, molded me in basketball as well. So here we go, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Steph, give us your top four plus your honorable mention, then Sean, and we'll get us out of here.
Top four. I believe I went White Men Can't Jump right at my top pick. Any Given Sunday at number two. What was my
Well, no,
third?
your first pick was Rocky 3.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm missing. Okay,
yeah.
I'm missing Rocky 3. Rocky 3's on there. White Men Can't Jump. Any Given Sunday, and I closed out with honorable for Friday Night Lights. Or
Yeah,
no?
Friday Night Lights.
How did we? Do?
Yeah, it was Friday Night
Yep.
Lights. Sean?
Okay.
Yeah, I had Rocky 3, of course. That was my number one. Number two, I believe, was Rudy. Number three was Hoosiers. And then I had number four is He Got Game. And then my honorable mention is The Fish That
Saved
Saved
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
The fi-
Whoa, whoa.
It's so corny. Oh, you have to watch.
It is, but it's one of my favorites.
It's a classic. It's a classic. I think Debbie Allen's in that movie too. So from
Oh,
yes.
Oh.
What is
So
that?
my four, I got Rocky 1 because it started it all. Not that I don't love Rocky 3. Of course I do, right? Pain. I have Any Given Sunday. I have Above the Rim. Above the Rim is in the second spot. Any Given Sunday, Field of Dreams, and we'll finish off with the documentary Hoop Dreams, which I think everyone should watch if you love sports.
Correction, I saw in here. I forgot. Remember the Titans is my third.
Yes, remember
And
the Titans.
then, yep. Gotcha.
Guys, this was harder than I thought it was going to be. Thank you guys for doing this for me. Because even as I was doing it, I found it difficult, right? Because you guys are making so many valid points about film.
Right.
So many of these things raised us. Guys, we're going to let everybody out of here. For Stephaune Wallace, for Sean Watkins, this is the Beat the Best podcast. Please remember to share this with your friends, especially your enemies. People love when you're making them upset on the internet. So if we said something ridiculous, share it with them. And we will see you next week. Peace.